And there we are. Welcome to the Surrounded by Details podcast, ladies and gentlemen. With me, Stevo. I am your host, and I shall turn down the music. Jesus Christ. It is early in the morning. It is 10 a.m. here in Bangkok, August 24th. If you are in Sydney, it's probably around 1 o'clock right now. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. What more can I say before we start? As always, thanks to the Dreamcatcher Hostel Bar and Cafe for always supporting us. And with that being out of the way, what are we going to do today? We're going to talk to the newly crowned Featherweight World Champion, Martin, the Situ-Asian. Nguyen knocked out Marat, the Cobra Gafurov. Vicious overhand right, and that sounded professional. But enough with the wannabe analyst here. We're gonna go to the Skype machine and actually call up Martin to see what he is up to. And I recently found out that Martin is actually having a proper job. Now, fighting seems like a proper job, but you know what I mean. On the side, I didn't know that. I want to talk with him about that as well, and how that is to fit so many shoes in one wardrobe. And yes, that was a German figure of speech. So let's go and Skype Martin, see what he is saying, or what he has to say, how he feels. We are connecting. That's the new Skype, by the way. It is still calling. Alright, no answer there yet. Maybe he's getting ready, or maybe he's still hungover. I can imagine if you upset the world like that you have a great time for a couple of days afterwards. So I'm really interested in how you celebrate as a new champ. What do you do? Do you go straight back to training? Because there is a featherweight division waiting to take that belt straight from Marat from Martin Nguyen. Sorry, and maybe there is even a rubber match happening, because Gafurov won, and Martin won. So that makes complete sense to me. Let's try again here. I keep on trying. Skype, kaboom. Is that what champs do? Do they let us wait? I'm joking. However, while we are waiting for Martin here to come on the show via Skype, I said before, when we were actually having the countdown, you gotta know your time zones. The reasons why I bring that one up is because I came back from Kuala Lumpur from this very event, and then a friend of mine from France, he's here in town, his friend is getting married, and we were supposed to play football, or soccer as you might know it. In Europe we say football. And I went to the place and nobody was there, and I was wondering what was happening. But that was because my time was still on Kuala Lumpur time, 1 hour ahead. So I was there, nobody else was there, and I was looking like a question mark. But you got to laugh about yourself sometimes. And I shall keep on going here to try to get Martin on the Skype machine. We said 1 p.m. Of course, it's always a little bit tricky when you do everything over Skype or via the phone. Let me know what you think, and let me know what questions you have. We have a live chat available at the live stream where you can post all your questions, and I will forward them to the champ, and we try to answer them. If you have any other opinions, please feel free to just do whatever you have to do in the comment section. And Martin is ready. We're gonna give him another try. There we go. Skype, and let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. He answered me on Facebook. Now we're just gonna get him over to Skype. Patience is the magic word. Call failed. We're gonna get this done, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes. Sometimes it's a little bit more tricky to organize everything. I'm typing with him on Facebook, and now I try to call him on Skype. It is a tricky world we live in. He said, let's go. Patience. That's what I'm asking for. Sorry for the delay, but it is what it is sometimes. What shall we do? Okay. We're gonna switch to WhatsApp here. Okay, we see. So Martin is having a little Skype account problem. So we shall move this to the WhatsApp machine instead. I'm waiting for his phone number. And once I have that, I will be able to call him via Skype. So yes, it is happening. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the waiting. But if you want to hear what the new champ has to say, you better stay on the radio, on YouTube, or wherever you are listening. There we go. I'm gonna put his number in. I'm not gonna say it out loud on air. That will be quite stupid, but I was very close there because I normally do that when I get numbers and I have to put them into my address book. I say them out loud just to make sure that I type in the right number. Okay, let me double check. Na 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 na. Kaboom! Create new contact. What shall we call him? Just the champ? But there's many champs at one championship because there's many weight divisions. So the situation actually took me a while to figure that one out. The situation, the Asian. Ha ha ha! I'm being funny here. I'm joking. Done. Open the magical WhatsApp. Magic. A few more seconds. Now his Skype is back up. Okay, let's do this over WhatsApp. If you have nothing to do, by the way, you can go back and listen to our episode with Michael Schiaviello and Mitch Chilson. Very popular ones. We had a blast doing podcasts in the hotel room with a ironing board as a desktop, but we had to use what we have. And enjoy those podcasts after this one. Now it is time to once again give Martin a call.
Hello.
Hello.
What's happening, man?
How are you, my friend?
Good.
Or shall I say, how are you, champ? Are you used to that yet, that people call you champ?
Man, it hasn't actually hit me, I swear.
How was your trip home, man?
I'm just laughing, man.
Yeah. How was your trip home? I want to dive right into it. I know you're a busy man. I want to make this short and effective. How was your trip back home to Australia, my friend?
Oh man, trip back home was a nightmare. I had to carry the belt, heavy as hell. I had to put on my carry-on. Then I swear it was just heavy. The belt was heavy, man. Gave me a dead shoulder, that's for sure.
But isn't that like a pass? If you have a belt like this, they just pass you through.
It is definitely, man.
Yeah, you see, that makes it way easier. But I think you could have worse problems than carrying a belt, my friend.
Definitely.
Man, I was talking to a couple of people there, and we kind of all agreed after the fight, you know, the day after. I saw you at breakfast, probably still a little bit hangover, I don't know. But we were all having the same thought. When we were watching the fight, we got a little bit nervous for you there on some points, because it looked like Marat gave you the same game as before, and it's going to be another rare naked choke. Can you give me your feelings and your thoughts of the fight leading up to the fight and the first round?
Yeah, so the fight in the first round, and yeah, the only person to say that. The first round was a bit daunting, you know. He came at me very strong, and I was like,
Hmm.
wow, it's kind of surprised me. I thought he was going to play it out for the 5 rounds, but he came at me all guns blazing. And you know what? It was just all about weathering the storm. And I knew once I weathered the storm, he wouldn't last at that pace because that's my type of pace
Hmm.
that we go at. So my cardio was on point. I mean, I can go 10 rounds straight. That's what we train for, you know.
Hmm.
And yeah, after weathering the storm, the first round, man, I seen the way he was in the corner. When I got back to my corner, I was like, I got this. It was just a matter of time.
Hmm. How did you prepare for this fight? Because I had the conversation with Mitch Shilton. When you have somebody like Marat Gafurov, you obviously fought him before, but you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna go for the rear naked choke. Do you only prepare for this, or were you prepared for a couple of aces up his sleeve?
Nah, we as a team, we prepared for everything. Obviously, the first and foremost was defending takedowns and clinch work and working off our backs in the ground and everything.
Mm.
So, man, we prepared for every situation and everything he done in that fight. I knew that was going to happen, and yeah, so it was just a matter of time where our game plan came into effect and go from there.
Mm. So can you tell me a little bit more about how this all led up to the fight? Because the last time we spoke on the podcast is a while back, and you were just having a win over Christian Lee, and I asked you back then, how ready are you for the rematch? Do you want it right away, or do you want to fight somebody else? How stoked were you when you got the call from One Championship?
I didn't actually believe him when he told me. I was like, man, I wasn't in any rush to force a rematch or, you know, to be calling people out, because that's not my game. That's not me calling people out. But you know what? I'll let my victories speak for themselves. And, you know, my win over Yokota in the first round, you know, set it all up. It teed up the downfall of Gafurov.
Yeah. How long did you actually need to sign the paper?
I had to take a full day to, you know, calm the nerves, and as soon as we got the paperwork sent through to us, man, I signed it straight away. I messaged it back straight away, and you know what? It took about a good week for them to confirm that Gafurov signed it on his end. So that nerve of waiting, and you know.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, it was eventually done at the end of the day.
You think Marat was a little bit afraid of the rematch? Because a rematch always gives advantage to the person who gets the rematch from the losing point, in my opinion, because you get a chance to to retrain, to try something new.
Redeem,
yeah. So do you think that Marat was nervous? Because he's Russian, and he has no emotions in his face.
No, nah, he wasn't nervous, man. He looked straight past me, and that's the first mistake he done. He didn't give me a chance. So you know what? His arrogance got the best of him. He was saying everything as what he was trying to, the way he fought, basically. So he goes first round this, first round that. It didn't seem like he trained for a 5-round war, in which you always got to train worst case scenario. And he put everything in that first round, man, and it didn't work his way. So, you know.
Yeah, that can backfire real quick if you put everything.
It backfired big time on him.
If you put everything on one card, it can backfire. But I can imagine that for you, and sorry if I get a little bit too personal, but I can imagine for you it was a live or die moment, because if you lose this fight as well, there wouldn't have been a third chance for you, or maybe not before somebody else became champion.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's no, you're right, man, 100%. But we didn't even look to our losing side. You know, we knew we were gonna win. I even in the change room, I was confident throughout the whole fight camp. We done everything right. From cardio to wrestling to stand up to massages to rest day to eating to diet to everything. We left no stones unturned, as I said in the videos. We done everything right as per the book. And if I lost to him, I mean, the better man won. But I didn't see myself losing in that fight, and I couldn't see myself losing that fight. And it was, as I said, do or die situation where I was going to walk out regardless with the hand raised. So
yeah, and literally the better man won this fight. I'm actually looking at the thumbnail, a picture that I took. Dukes has a very, very good picture as well, my colleague from One Championship, where you are on your knees and you're looking at the belt and you realizing it actually happened. But before you came
it's a
to that
bittersweet moment.
before you came to that moment, you had loads of media to deal with. Did that affect your preparation during the week in Kuala Lumpur in any way?
Leading up to the fight, I was watching his media. I was like, man, this guy is like, he's so confident. Which, I mean, being the champion, you got to be confident. But he's looking straight through me. This is the guy saying I'm not on his level, and everything he was saying, he was boasting up himself as usual. No credentials for the challenger or anything, But I made him eat his own words.
Yeah. But
so
it's
basically.
It's mental warfare as well. You kind of have to say, yeah, he doesn't have my level, all this kind of stuff. It kind of belongs to a fight.
I took a bit personal as well listening to that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make him eat his own words. I want to do everything I can, obviously, to win this fight. But him looking straight past me, man, I'm not gonna let.
It seems like it motivated you more than it actually put you down.
Go, so.
Oh, sorry, you disappeared there for a second. Oh, the call ended. We're gonna try again. Not really sure what happened there. Gonna try to give him another call.
Sorry, Steve.
No problem at all. You disappeared there afterwards. I was saying it seemed like this whole he looked through me motivated you actually more than it got personal to you in a bad way.
Yeah, no, it definitely motivated me. Everything was motivation. I never took anything to the heart where I let my game go. I used that as motivation to, stay on track, stick to the game plan, stick to what we've been working out on, 8-week camp, man. That was by far the worst but enjoying camp I've had. And you know what? It prevailed.
Yeah, but you're gonna go through all this over and over again as a champ because there is a huge...
Yeah, exactly, yes. And now I know what to expect. Now I know what to work on. Now I know what I need to do to retain this belt. And you know what? First and foremost, I won't look past my opponent, but I'll do whatever it takes as what he did.
Yeah, there's a huge line waiting to get a shot at the title. But before we go to what's next for you, I wanna ask you about that second round when all this happened. I mean, did you see an opening before, and were you waiting for this? Because you were very patient in this fight. That is something that I really enjoyed because you took your time, and then when the moment was there, overhand right, and it was a night for Marat Gafurov. On the internet, people even say it was not a knockout, it was a knockdown. Well.
The guy face planted.
Exactly. Unfortunately, because I'm shooting editorial for One Championship, I can't release the images yet, but I have a photo of Marat landing on his face, and I think if you see that photo, it shows you that it was definitely a knockout. So how did you prepare for that very moment there?
Everyone was saying that it was a lucky punch, but in terms of lucky punches, in 4 times in that first round, I landed that same punch. And it didn't affect him as much as what the last punch did. But it ain't a lucky punch if you've been training that same punch for 8 weeks straight, you know. But in terms of that very last punch, we baited him in. He was getting tired. When you get tired, you get a bit sloppy. He was a bit stiff, flat-footed. I escaped off his back control, and you know what? I heard my corner reset. Reset and reset to us, man. So, you know what? Get back to the center and stick to the game plan. The game plan was back on, and we baited him in.
How much are you aware of what your corner is actually saying?
All the time. I hear one voice, and that one voice goes through my head throughout the whole fight. So that's my head coach, and he's been with me since the day one. And the only time he hasn't been with me was the fight against Gafurov the first time. So
maybe that's the reason why you lost that first fight.
So with my head coach, we've been undefeated. So I'm gonna keep it that way.
Was there a particular reason why he wasn't there for the first fight?
You know what? He was meant to come. But then family duties called, and you know what?
Ah, I see.
Family comes first. So he had to go somewhere else, and I had our ground coach and another fighter at the time come out. So yeah.
What world are we living in where the family comes first? I'm joking, of course. I know you have I'm single, man. I don't have no family duties at all. I know for you, you have a family, you have a kid, you have a wife. Who was with you in Kuala Lumpur? And that surprised me because normally athletes shut themselves off from their family. What made you decide to bring her along with you?
Hey, my wife. You know what? She was excited to come as well. So I mean. I wasn't gonna say no, and it was good in a way that she came because you know what it was an extra long trip. We arrived on the Monday. Usually I'm used to arriving on the Tuesday and then the Wednesday weigh-ins and all that, but we arrived on the Monday, so it gave us like an extra day and a half to settle in. That was a benefit, but then also that's an extra day and a half away from my family. So I'm the type of guy that always gets families like homesick.
Okay.
every time I go away, as soon as I get back to the hotel, I call my wife or I call my kids, and you know, and they bring me back down when I'm feeling homesick. So
that's
yeah,
amazing.
this time it was good. She came with me, and you know what? I didn't feel homesick not one bit. So I was there for the day and a half. We explored the area, and then she came on I think the Wednesday night, and you know what? All feelings went away, and it felt like I was at home. Everything was smooth.
Nice. I always have huge respect for people who are that close with their family. Don't get me wrong. I love my parents as well, but we are all kind of travelers. We are happy when we are away from each other. You know what I mean? After that knockout, after you knocked out Gafurov, you were of course very excited. You were in your own zone, let me put it this way, but you were saying one thing over and over again, all day, all day, all day. What do you mean by that? Was it too fast for you? Would you like to go 5 rounds instead of 2?
No. All day is a word we were screaming throughout fight camp and throughout the whole time we were over there. All day, man. It means like, I don't know, it's like we can do it all day. You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's like that. Yeah,
I enjoyed it, man, because the people are just so.
It's our team chant.
Yeah, just they still seem motivated even if the fight is over. And I know it is maybe a stupid question, but I have to ask it because I'm wondering, what are the things that go through your mind that when that moment actually come? Because even after you knock out Marat Gafurov, you kind of in your zone all day. You look around for your friends, for your coach, for your family, but then you have that moment when that belt goes around your waist, and nobody less than Rich Franklin gave you the belt. I mean, what did go through your mind? How did you feel? Can you put that in words for us?
It was such a surreal moment. I was like, it's really happening. It's really happening, and it's happened. And your name gets announced, and Dominic Lau, you're new featherweight world champion, and you're like, so much emotions go through your mind. It's like a flashback of fight camp, and it was all worth it at the end of the day. And then the last time I won a championship belt was when my dad was around as well. So everything came back to me, and it was a lot of emotions. A lot of emotions. Yeah,
I saw that picture on Instagram. Beautiful picture, by the way. You dedicated the belt to your dad, if I'm correct, if I'm not mistaken. How was it to bring the belt home and then visit the grave of your dad? I don't want to get too personal, but I still want to ask the question.
No, it was it was such a surreal moment. It was a bliss moment. It was like a big relief that we finally did it, and the next step from here now is to keep defending the belt and doing everything we can to defend it. And what? It was bittersweet at the end of the day to use his downfall and his struggle as my victory, as a motivation. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. You mentioned looking forward here now, because there is a huge line. How do you prepare yourself now? Because as I said at the beginning of the podcast when we were waiting for you, I didn't know, but I heard you actually have a side job, a proper job. Are you quitting that job now, or are you going to stay there, or what's going to happen with the new Martin again?
I don't see myself leaving my day job anytime soon, to be honest. It's like my home away from MMA.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can't afford at this time to be a full-time trainer.
Mm.
And I'm very comfortable of the way I'm training and how I'm set up at the moment with time management and everything. So at the moment, yeah, it's my work at the moment. It's my time away from MMA, and also because I deal with so many numbers and typing all day, it's like brain training to me. So it's
I
it's pretty
understand.
cool.
It's a smart but I think it's a smart decision to be who you were and just stay yourself. Don't change too much because
Of course.
I think you're gonna be a very good champ, a very good role model because the way you behave yourself, the way people can follow you on social media and your family life, it's very inspiring to a lot of people, I can imagine. And with inspiring so many people, how was it to come home? How many interviews have you given since, and how many people reached out to you? I can imagine your phone exploded.
Oh man, my phone it's still going till today, man. I'm getting like 2 to 3 to 400 notifications per day, and you know what? I'm not the one that just looks at it and and move on. You know, I reply back to every single one of them. You know, so and I also acknowledge that I see it. So I either like the comment or I read everything, and I like to read everything, and that's like my time. To dwell as well, and it kind of brings back flashbacks as well of the fight, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was so impressed when you won the title, and then on your way backstage you took the time, you shaked everybody's hands, and something that was my moment of the evening, and unfortunately my camera was already packed, but you met Gafurov backstage, because after the knockout he was a little bit confused, and of course he wasn't angered, it was his first loss, but then you met and shaked hand backstage. Can you give us a short statement on that?
Yeah, so basically, I don't know, man. It just happened so quick. You know, he walked off. I didn't expect him to walk off. I seen him ranting in the corner, about the stoppage or whatever. But you know what? Once it's done, it's done. You know, so it's not like we can't restart or anything. But he walked off, and I didn't know he walked off. I thought he was just outside contesting or whatever. But and then the crowd started booing, and I'm like, are they booing at me? I didn't know at the time because I was in my own world, and I was looking around, and then I seen like him walking out from the cage and like pushing officials aside, and you know what? I was like, you know, it's probably for him, but you know what? It's his first loss, so he probably doesn't know how to express himself, or he doesn't know how to, you know, maybe that's his way of, you know, I don't know.
It's something that happens. He just got knocked out. I mean, it's very
correct,
hard
yeah,
to react.
Could have been like a confused moment, and that's the way he reacts usually. But I'm not too sure. So the way he reacted is the way he reacted. It is what it is. I mean, the first time I lost against him, man, I stood there in shame. But you know what? I used that as motivation. But for him, he lost. He walked out the cage. I seen him backstage though, and you know, it's a sport at the end of the day. We don't hate each other. We don't genuinely hate each other. We're there to fight each other and move on, you know. So I said my best wishes to him, and I shook his hand. It got translated, and you know what? We took our photos and we moved forward.
Yeah, but you said it and you mentioned it there before. You said it's his first loss. I'm having your share dog in front of me here. He handed you your first loss. How likely is it that we see you in a rubber match against Gafurov, Martin Nguyen versus Marat Gafurov 3?
You know, it might happen. Might possibly happen. We never know. At the end of the day, it's up to the UFC officials. ONE FC officials, and with ONE FC, you never know. They can spring up and go, okay, your first defense is the rubber match, or your first defense is, you know, this person, or you know, what do you want to do? And you know, we'll start talking from there. But yeah, at the end of the day, there must be a rubber match.
Yeah, that is fair.
There has to be a rubber match.
Yeah,
just to clear the air.
Yeah,
he beat me by submission. I beat him by knockout. Just to clear the air and see how it goes. There has to be, but you never know.
Well, I would definitely tune in if I'm not there for that one too. I would definitely like to see that, but sorry, I have to put you on the spot. You cannot just say there can be a rubber match or this or that person. What is next for you? That is my final question here before I let you go, because there's a long line. There's a lot of people coming in this division coming up. Who do you see fighting yourself next? Do you have a particular person, or do you say whoever shows up, if I'm the champ, I gotta win whoever is there?
I do have a particular person in mind, and I did bring it up to the ONE FC officials. I won't say any names or anything now.
Wait. You cannot say A and then you cannot say B. That doesn't work. Can you give us a hint?
The hint, okay. The hint is throughout the whole fight week, I was walking around 68 kilos. I was eating breakfast like a king, and I was weighing in at 69.2, fully hydrated. So.
Are we talking two weight divisions here?
You know? Yeah, what's an extra couple of kilos of losing, you know? So we'll see what happens. If I get my diet right, you know, we never know.
Now, if that is not the rumor that needs to go out there on all the internet and MMA forums, I don't know. The first two division challenge or champion could be happening, could be in the work right now as we speak. That's amazing. Well,
if it's not two division, then it's definitely a fight that everyone will be tuning into, or a super fight that everyone can or will be talking about. Sorry.
Well, you keep on knocking people out, so I can assure you that people will tune in 100%. Because
I love my submissions. I love subbing guys, but the knockout comes before the subs, and I just can't sub them before I knock them out. But you know,
yeah.
Either way, whatever comes first, I'm always up for it.
Yeah, maybe lift a little less tires. Maybe that helps. Don't get too strong and just, yeah, it's a vicious hand you have there, that's for sure. I saw the video of the knockout. It has, I don't know, I was at night editing, so when I came back to the hotel, I was straight going to Photoshop, and I think by 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning, your knockout had over 500,000 clicks already, and I don't know where it is now.
Yeah.
I think you made a lot of new fans, and you surprised a lot of people. Martin, what else can I say?
I'm getting awesome messages and support from everyone. You know, there's hate there, but I just ignore that. But everyone that's messaging me, everyone that's liking my stuff and following me now, I just like to say thank you, and you know, your kind words are much appreciated.
Yeah, man. And don't pay attention to the haters. Haters come with success.
There's always going to be haters.
Yeah, it's always like that, man. It's the same. Martin, sorry, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. The only thing I have left to say is congratulations so much. You deserve it. It was a pleasure to take photos of your fights. I hope to get the images to you very soon.
Yeah, send them to me.
You can expect a bunch of good ones, because I always like to take pictures of people and their emotions, and you were obviously very emotional that evening. Where can people follow you on social media?
Social media, I got my Facebook page, my fighter's Facebook page, Marat and the Situ-Asian Nguyen. There's my Instagram, which is it's Martin, with 2 I's and 2 N's at the end. And my Twitter is Martin Nguyen KMA.
I'm going to put all that in the description below. With that being said, thank you so much once again. I hope to see you. Are you going to fight this year or next year? The last question.
Hopefully by the end of the year.
Boom. That would be Bangkok or China, maybe.
Hopefully.
Well, Bangkok is a nice place to fight, man. This is where we are recording from.
I'd love to go to Bangkok.
All right, Martin, thank you so much. Have a good one, and congratulations one more time.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Boom. 100% professional, the new champ, the new featherweight world champion. Martin Nguyen giving interviews, answering text messages, all that. It must be a stressful time in his life, but I'm sure it is also a very happy time. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. I'm going to put all the information to follow Martin on social media, see what he's up to, follow his training and his training camps. All the links are below in the description on YouTube. So if you're listening on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, or SoundCloud, where you can download all our episodes for free, then please go over to YouTube and collect all the necessary information. Once you are there, or wherever you are listening, please give us a subscribe, give us a like, maybe leave us a comment so we know if we're doing a good job or not, because that is the only way we can develop. And of course, subscribe. So if you're on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or YouTube, just look for Surrounded by Details. And if you are on social media, such as Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, make sure to look for Steve Bonhage, STEVBONHAGE. And if all that is not really your thing, then just, put in www.stevebonhage.com. Once again, STEVBONHAGE.com, and you will find all the links that you need on the page. September. A lot of stuff is going to happen. I'm going to go to Shanghai next week. I'm very stoked for that because so far I've only been in Shanghai for layovers or changing planes, which is basically the same thing. So I'm looking forward to actually be there for a couple of days and witness the title fight between Ben Askren and Kardistam. Looking forward to that. And then there's going to be a little break for week 1.5, and then it's continuously on to the next one. And it's my birthday on September 25th, and I'm planning something special. So keep an eye open on the website. That's all I can say. There is a few surprises coming in the very near future, and that is also the reason why I'm going to stop this podcast now. Enough of my voice for this week. We have been recording a podcast yesterday with the legend Brian Bartush. Make sure to check that one out. If you enjoyed this podcast with Martin Nguyen, this situation, please make sure to listen to all our other One Championship podcast where I just force people and staff from 1FC to come on my podcast. Michael Chavello recently, Mitch Chilson, we had Rich Franklin on not long ago. All those videos and more on the channels all over social media. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Steve Bonhage, and you have been listening to the Surrounded by Details podcast. See ya!